Today, we're going to be ranking every single NFL team on a tier list. We're going to be ranking these teams by Super Bowl contenders, playoff teams, teams that are interesting that I could see making the playoffs or missing the playoffs, teams that are just not going to be good, and then obviously the absolute worst of the worst teams, the garbage tier. So hopefully you guys enjoy these new type of videos, and if you're new here, consider subscribing, drop a like, and let's go ahead and get right into the video. Yeah, listen guys, like I said in the intro, I didn't think you guys expected this type of video, but yeah, we're gonna be ranking every single team on this tier list. So hey dude, if I rank like your favorite team in a tier that you don't like, then let me know down in the comment section below. But our first team that we're gonna be starting off with is the Arizona Cardinals. Now low-key, I'm gonna put them into the interesting tier. I think that this could be a playoff team, or I think that they could miss the playoffs. Like, neither one would surprise me. I kind of have to see how Kyler Murray does with Marvin Harrison Jr. And if you guys don't and haven't seen Marvin Harrison Jr., bro, he's absolutely jacked. Like, there was a photo the other day that came out, and it was kind of crazy from his transformation from his rookie year. I just got to see, bro, can Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. get on the same track? Because this last season was kind of a disaster for that. Enough of the Cardinals, dude. We got to go over to the Atlanta Falcons. Now they replaced midway through the season Kirko, Chains, Cousins, whatever you want to say, dude. I mean, Michael Penix Jr. didn't honestly look that bad. He looked pretty good whenever he did come into play. And the Atlanta Falcons, bro, I mean, they still have Matthew Judon. Jesse Bates is an absolute dog. Yo, as a former Bengals fan, dude, it kind of sucks seeing him play so good over there. But, dude, he's one of the best safeties in the league. Now, I would say, I don't know, I would kind of want to put them into the interesting tier. But, you know, in the NFC, especially in the NFC South, they could definitely win the division. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this as like a playoff tier team. I do think they could make the playoffs, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up doing that. So I'm gonna put them in the playoff tier. I think this one's gonna be pretty easy. The Baltimore Ravens, bro, this is a Super Bowl contending team, especially over there in the AFC side. Well, the AFC, they do have some juggernauts, bro, like the Bills, the Chiefs. I guess that really low-key comes to mind whenever you think of the AFC, like the absolute top of the top tier. But their secondary is looking really good. I mean, they got Kyle Hamilton, Marlon Humphreys. Dude, these guys added Malachi Starks during the draft, which was kind of crazy, even that he fell that far to them. I thought he was like a top 10 player. But of course, dude, the Ravens are going to get him. I mean, why wouldn't they? They always seem like it's either them or the Eagles that get like these absolute draft steals. Oh yeah, and how can I forget, bro? They actually signed Jair Alexander, so that secondary, bro, that's going to be a deadly secondary, especially over there in the AFC side of things. The next team, we have the Buffalo Bills, and no one's going to be surprised by putting them also in the Super Bowl contender tier. Josh Allen played very, very good last year. I mean, he's the MVP for a reason. Khalil Shakir stepped up. We also had Keon Coleman. James Cook in that running game really got going towards the end of the year. We're actually kind of like all year, bro. But what really surprised me was that defense, because I know that last season they lost a lot of players going into the year. Now here we go, we got the Carolina Panthers next. I don't think that they can make the playoffs, and I don't know, I'm thinking about putting them in the interesting tier, but I just don't think that they can really make that leap this year. I feel like they're maybe just not going to be a good team, but they're not going to be a garbage team. I mean, Bryce Young, dude, he picked it up last year. I was really worried about him because I want to see Bryce Young do good. Bryce Young ended up playing very, very good for them throughout the year. I know he had that little thing in the beginning where he got benched and he wasn't really playing that good, but throughout the year, especially that Chiefs game, I feel like they turned things around. All right, Bears fans, this is going to be a kind of an interesting team to grade. I mean, I could definitely see the Bears making the playoffs, but dude, that NFC North is loaded, dude. They have the Packers to worry about, which I don't think the Packers are going to be as good as they were last year. But speaking about the Lions, they obviously lost Ben Johnson. He is the head coach for the Chicago Bears, so I'm going to low-key put the Bears into the interesting category. I do think that they improved, especially, you know, with the head coach, obviously. They traded for Joe Thuney, which I think that's going to be a very, very good piece in their offensive line. Plus, I just feel like Ben Johnson's going to get the most out of Caleb Williams. Now, does it come together in this first year? It could. That's why I have them in the interesting tier, because it's not going to surprise me, dude, if Ben Johnson can really turn everything around in 1 year. Oh boy, dude. Next up, we have my Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan, but I'm not going to try to be biased here. The fan inside of me, I feel like with every other fan, in the NFL, dude, you're kind of rooting for your team to make the Super Bowl, and you're feeling like you're the Super Bowl contender. But let's be real, dude, that defense, it was hot garbage last year, bro. But I'm going to have to put this team in the interesting category, because honestly, I could see us making the playoffs, and I can even see us missing out on the playoffs, and that's just not going to be very good. Now, I'm pretty sad about the Bengals, but I feel like Browns fans, they're going through it right now. I'm going to have to put this team in the garbage tier. I know that defense, they have talent. The team isn't, like, from a roster standpoint, absolute garbage, like one of the worst of the worsts. However, you got stuff going on with Quinshawn Judkins now, the rookie that you guys brought in. Jerry Jeudy, though, he did look pretty good. David Njoku, he was solid last year. The offensive line is just... It's not as great as it's been the past couple of years, I would say. I just don't think that this team and their fan base are really expecting anything crazy to happen this upcoming year. Oh my goodness, we have the Cowboys next, dude. What do we do here? Could we do interesting? I guess, the Cowboys, they could make the playoffs, or they couldn't make the playoffs. They got CeeDee Lamb. Dak Prescott should be back and healthy, except Zach Martin did retire, and he's been a staple of that offensive line for like the last couple of years. But they got Tyler Smith, who showed up. I think they got another Tyler. Who did they end up drafting? It's something Tyler, because I know there's like 3 freaking Tylers on that offensive line. Oh yeah, they also traded for George Pickens, dude. How can I forget? So, this team, they're not going to be, I don't think they're going to be garbage. So, I'm going to go ahead and put this team in the interesting tier. Like, if they make the playoffs, it's like, okay, I could have seen that. But if they don't make the playoffs, it's like, that's kind of not surprising as well. Ooh, this is a fun team. The Denver Broncos. Now, I'm not going to put them in interesting. I didn't really like the pick of Bo Nix. I didn't think he was that good. And I kind of hate Sean Payton. Just personal reasons, dude. I just don't like the guy. That's just me. But, I can't lie to you, bro. The Broncos, they were pretty good last year. And for that, I think that they can make the playoffs and be a playoffs team now. I don't think that they're going to be missing the playoffs. Like, I'd be surprised if they end up missing it. But, dude, Cortland Sutton and Bo Nix connection was clicking last year. They also got Patrick Surtain on the defense. And that defense just in general is a lot better. They also added, I think they added Dre Greenlaw, Talafunga, Huwanga. I don't even know, bro. I don't even know how to say his name. I don't know about Super Bowl contender, but playoffs, I'm definitely going to slot them in there. Now, this team right here, the Detroit Lions, kind of interesting. Not going to put them there. I'm going to put them in Super Bowl contenders. I think that this team, and I would not be surprised if they made the Super Bowl. They've been really close. 2 years ago, they were very, very close. They were a game away. They kind of blew that. Last year, they played the Commanders, and what was kind of like a trap game. I thought they were going to win. Got to give credit to the Commanders. They played very, very good. Like, they played out of their minds during that playoff game. And I think the Lions, throughout that game, granted, they were banged up. Aiden Hutchinson was out basically almost the entire year. We're going to have to see. I just trust in Dan Campbell and the guys, but, coordinators can really affect a team. Now, the Green Bay Packers, they did release Jair Alexander, but Xavier McKinney, dude, let's talk about the year he had last year. It was absolutely insane. Now that I'm remembering, though, they did end up adding Matthew Golden. He was a first-round pick for the Packers. Wide receiver, bro. I don't know, bro. I definitely could see this team being in the interesting category, but I'm just gonna put them in like the lower playoff tier. I like Jordan Love, and last year he was banged up throughout the entire year. I think he got hurt, I don't know, like the first couple of weeks he got hurt, dude. Now here we go with the Houston Texans. Okay, things are about to actually get very, very interesting. The Houston Texans, they traded away Laramie Tunsil. That offensive line is just buns, dude. I can't even lie to you. But to be fair, that defense is still very solid. They still got Nico Collins, CJ Stroud. And you know what? I'm going to kind of go with a little bit of a hot take. I know that I kind of want to put them in interesting, but I just feel like they're not going to be as good. Now, I don't think this is going to be entirely on CJ Stroud, Nico Collins, that offense. Well, kind of on the offense. It's going to be on the offensive line. I feel like that's going to kind of hold them back. I think the defense can kind of keep them in the games, but just, dude, the offensive line wasn't even good last year. Now, going into this year, you lose Laramie Tunsil. I know he was kind of a penalty machine, but I just don't think they're going to be as good. Now, they can actually still make the playoffs because I feel like they could win that division. The AFC South, it's kind of wide open. Now, I could kind of say the same with the Colts, except I kind of like, you know, what they have going on over there. I'm going to put them in the interesting tier. They did bring in Lou Anarumo. I mean, I love Lou, bro. I think he's going to do very, very good over there. They added Charvarius Ward to that defense, so that should be kind of interesting. I don't think that Indy's a bad team necessarily. I think they could win the AFC South. Now, the question is, the big question, bro, is Anthony Richardson. Is he going to do good? I'm rooting for him. I kind of want to see Anthony Richardson do very, very good. Next up, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Dude, this was one of the worst teams in the league. And hey, they end up trading up and getting Travis Hunter during the draft, giving Trevor Lawrence another weapon. I mean, Brian Thomas Jr. was honestly pretty good with them. Now, do I think that they can get back into their form a couple years ago and make the playoffs and be kind of an interesting team? I just don't think they're going to be like a good team, but I don't think they're necessarily going to be a terrible team, like garbage tier where they're going to win 2 or 3 games. Like, I could definitely see this team winning 6 or 7 games. But man, we just got to see Trevor Lawrence, bro. We got to see him take another step because he's kind of getting in a little bit of the scary range. They gave him a huge extension. We're going to have to see if that can work out. I guess time will tell for that. And now, Kansas City Chiefs, dude. I mean, it pains me as a Bengals fan. I hate seeing them on top, but I got to put them in Super Bowl contenders. I mean, this team, they just came off of a Super Bowl loss. Kind of embarrassing. You know, I'm going to take my jab right there. But, I mean, they did make the Super Bowl. And they have been, you know, in the couple previous Super Bowls. They've just been that guy. They win whenever they have to win. And boom, right here, you got the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh on the Chargers, bro. I think this is going to be a playoff team. I think they're going to be one of the better teams in the NFL. Now, Super Bowl contenders? No. Do I think that they win a game in the playoffs? I could definitely see that happening. I would be surprised if they end up missing the playoffs. I think that just Harbaugh's got them playing very good. I think they want to run the ball. They got Herbert over there who can launch the pigskin. Next up, we have the LA Rams, dude. The LA Rams. Okay, let's kind of see right here. I could see them in the interesting tier, but I think they're going to be a very solid team going into this next year and a playoff contender. So let's put them in the playoffs. I know they don't have Cooper Kupp anymore, but Puka Nacua, bro, that guy's a dog. Matthew Stafford, he's still very good. Kyron Williams had a nice season last year as well. And the defense, dude, the defense is kind of underrated. You know, they got Brandon Fisk, Jared Verse. They just played solid last year. And I feel like the Rams are kind of just a little bit underrated. What do we want to do with the Raiders? Do I think this team's going to be hot garbage? No, I don't think they're going to be hot garbage. I don't think they're going to be a good team, but I don't think they're going to be garbage, dude. They have Ashton Genty, Geno Smith. Dude, Brock Bowers was an absolute monster last year. Jacoby Myers had a solid year as well. I don't think they're going to win 2 or 3 games. I feel like, again, this is going to be another team that's maybe 5 games. Is 5 garbage? I don't know. Maybe 5 to 7 games they could win. I wouldn't really be surprised if they do that. Now we have the Miami Dolphins, dude. Miami. Don't think they're going to be a solid squad this year. Again, another like 6-win team, bro. It was interesting, right? The trade for Minka Fitzpatrick and Jalen Ramsey. I guess they do end up getting Minka back. He's younger than Jalen Ramsey, but he hasn't been playing at that like all-pro tier that we're kind of used to Minka being playing at. But dude, I don't know what it is, but whenever I watch the Dolphins, I just can't put this team as like a legit contender. That's why I think they're going to miss the playoffs, dude. I don't think they're going to be as good this year just because the play style, bro. I think it's just too fancy. It just like whenever it's working, I feel like it just works really good against like the lower tier teams. Like whenever they're beating up on a bad team, the offense looks electric. But sometimes whenever they're playing a very good team and especially a really good pass rush, dude, it just does not look pretty. I mean, go and look at that game against the Packers, dude. That was not a pretty game. Except I think at the end they made that a little bit closer. But it's just not pretty, dude. It's just not pretty. Whenever it's not working, it's not pretty. That's all I gotta say about the Dolphins. And right here, dude. Okay. This is interesting. The Vikings, I'm gonna put them, you know, I've been saying it's interesting. I'm gonna put them in the interesting tier. Like, I could definitely see them making the playoffs, and I could definitely see them missing out. This team is kind of the ultimate interesting team. Like, whenever I was thinking about naming these tier lists, I thought about the Vikings, and I was like, you know, I don't know if I can't put them in the playoffs, and I can't put them in the not good tier. I just gotta put them in the interesting tier because, you know, this team with JJ McCarthy, you know, Justin Jefferson, they could pop off and make the playoffs and even go like crazy in the playoffs, or they could go just be one of the worst teams, or just not a very good team and just barely miss out in the playoffs. So I got to put them in interesting, dude. I think they're that kind of like the definition on this tier list of just interesting teams. The New England Patriots, I would want to put them in the not good tier, but I got to see a little bit more from Drake May and that offense. I do like Mike Vrabel. I like that hire a lot. I think they added, you know, with the offensive line addition through the draft. I'm forgetting the name off the top of my head, but they did draft the tackle from LSU. They did end up adding Stephon Diggs, but I don't know if that's really going to help them out too much. I think they need to add some more on the offensive side, and that defense is just, it is what it is, dude. I like Christian Gonzalez, though. He's pretty good. And Christian Barmore, he's not bad either, but I think he's been dealing with like blood clot or something with his health. I think he had to step away last year from the team, so hopefully he gets better. But I'm just gonna put them in the garbage tier. Like, I don't think that they make that the ascent just yet. I think this may be probably another year of just kind of, you know, garbage. Maybe like 3-4 wins. I don't think they're going to be as crazy. I think they'll be a little bit competitive. Maybe they get to 5 wins, dude. Maybe they get to 5 wins, and that's pretty good for them. And yo, we're going to keep it with garbage tier, dude. The Saints, I don't know what to say. I think this is going to be just a garbage tier team. Derek Carr, retired. I feel like they're going to be picking 1 or 2 next year. It's not really much to say. This is an old team. They have to start rebuilding. I like me some AK-41, Alvin Kamara. There's not really much to say, dude. This team's going to be garbage. Giants. I've been a hater for this team the past, dude, probably like the past 5 years, bro. I think this team is just still garbage. I just don't think that this team is very good. I like the defense. Defense is cool. Malik Neighbors is cool. Tyrone Tracy's kind of cool. Everything else is garbage. 2 or 3 wins. If you get to 3, bravo, dude. You know, the Jets have me thinking, do I think that they're going to be absolutely garbage? I could see it. I could see them being absolutely garbage, or I could see them being just a not so good team. The defense kind of, it actually regressed last year. So, I mean, they added Justin Fields though, but I'm not really a big Justin Fields guy though. I know a lot of people are. He's a good person, bro, but I just don't think he's that good of a quarterback, dude. They have Breece Hall. They have Garrett Wilson. Offensive line, I think it has gotten a little bit better. I think they've tried to address it, but I don't think this team's as good of a team. Now, maybe they're in the not good tier, or maybe I'm just going to be a little bit too harsh, but dude, I don't think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be garbage. And the defending and reigning Super Bowl champions, bro, the Eagles, Philadelphia. I have to put them in the Super Bowl contending tier, bro. They ended up re-signing, was it Zach Bond, the linebacker? He went absolutely berserk for them, especially in the Super Bowl and through that playoff run. Saquon Barkley, dog, offensive line, probably the best in the league, dude. Jalen Hurts, solid quarterback. I don't know if I'd put him in like crazy elite tier, but solid quarterback. AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, I mean, there's not really too much to say, dude. This is the defending Super Bowl champions. I'm going to have to put them in the Super Bowl contenders tier. The Steelers. Let's talk about the Steelers, dude. The Pittsburgh Steelers. All right. Mike Tomlin, what do you guys got brewing up over there? Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf. You trade away George Pickens. Defense is still good. You know, you did end up trading away Minkah Fitzpatrick, but you got Jalen Ramsey. I think the defense can keep them into a lot of games. I'm going to put them in the not good tier. Like, maybe they can go up to interesting and make the playoffs. Definitely they could make the playoffs, because I don't know, some way, somehow they find a way to get above 500. But I don't think that this is gonna be it. I think maybe it's like an 8 and 9 year, bro. Now the Seattle Seahawks. I kind of like this team. I'm gonna put them in interesting. I kind of like them. You know, they got Sam Darnold, Cooper Kupp, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Offensive line's a little bit shaky, but they have Kenneth Walker and who's the other guy? He's like kind of like a muscle hamster, dude. He kind of reminds me of Doug Martin. I'm gonna put them in the interesting tier. Like, I could definitely see them making the playoffs, and then I could definitely see them not making the playoffs. San Francisco didn't have that good of a year last year. I mean, mainly due to injuries. CMC was kind of injured throughout the year. Brandon Ayuk, I'm pretty sure he tore his ACL last year. Brock Purdy, he kind of answered it. I think he's a very solid quarterback in the league. And Kyle Shanahan, I still like Kyle Shanahan. I still like him. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I could definitely see them making the playoffs. I don't think they'll miss it this year. But do I expect them to go far in the playoffs? No, not really. And then same with Tampa Bay, dude. Same with Tampa Bay. I mean, dude, NFC South, it's just not a good division. So they're kind of my favorite to win that division. The Falcons could come in there and give them like a little bit of a run, but I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers making the playoffs, maybe even winning the NFC South. Dude, they have Baker Mayfield. Obviously, Mike Evans is still there, and he's still doing really good. Chris Godwin's coming back from that injury, but listen, don't worry about him because they drafted Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State. Defensively, I think they're solid. I think this is just a very good team. And I could definitely see them winning a couple of games in the playoffs. You know what? The last couple of picks that I've had, I apologize because, my OBS for some reason wants to freeze. So I don't feel like recording that over again. We're just going to have to deal with it. Just pretend that they went into the spots that they were supposed to go in. Okay, Tennessee Titans. I don't know about Cam Ward, honestly. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I could definitely see a lot of people and like the expectation, the potential that he has. That offense, the offensive line, that team, the head coach, dude. The head coach, Bryce Callahan. I don't like it. I don't like him at all. He was our offensive coordinator in Cincinnati. Dude, I don't think he's good. That's just my opinion. I do not think he's good. Will Levis was kind of cool for them. I was kind of a Will Levis fan. I kind of still am a Will Levis fan. So I don't know if maybe that's playing in to this ranking, but I'm going to put them, they are in the AFC South. I think they can sneak a little bit, some wins in that division. I'm going to put them in the not good tier because I think they can get over 5 wins. But Bryce Callahan, dude, I don't think he's the head coach for them. I just don't think he's that good. Now, lastly, we do have the Washington Commanders. Do I think that this is a Super Bowl contending team? No. Or they were 1 game away from the Super Bowl whenever they faced the Eagles. I just don't think they're yet. Listen, I think everybody's jumping the gun on here. I've seen it with the Chargers and Justin Herbert. I've seen it with the Texans and CJ Stroud. Do I think that Jaden Daniels is really going to fall off after this year 2? I don't think he's going to have that dramatic of a fall off, but I could see this being a playoff tier team. I could definitely see them making the NFC Championship again. I don't know if I would put them in the Super Bowl contending tier yet again. I don't know if I'm going to buy into that much hype. I know they were very, very good last year, but it's hard to replicate that in the NFL, dude. So I'm going to put them as one of the better playoff teams. I guess I'll do this. I'm not really ranking them on here, but I'll put them as one of the better, on the cusp of Super Bowl contenders. I just got to see them do it again before I can actually truly believe in this team. But this right here is my NFL tier rankings list. Let me know what you guys think. This is kind of a different type of video. I'm gonna kind of mold the content on this channel a little bit differently. So you're not really going to see the Madden content anymore. You're going to see more of the NFL stuff, especially whenever the NFL season starts to ramp up. If you guys enjoyed this, consider subscribing, drop a like, and I will see you all in the next one. Yeet.